My ex-husband's ex-girlfriend, the woman he was supposed to marry before me,
Yes.
contacts me on Instagram. I shit you not. She goes, I've been taking your classes for 3 years.
No.
Stop.
And
Oh, hello. We're talking about my tits.
Most of the time. Girl on girl on girl. You would.
Like, stop picking up the fucking hot knife.
Fucking cares.
Right on track.
Ugh.
With a lot of money, I would do great fucking things.
But not in a good way.
Yikes.
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 Yikes. Where's the realness?
Yeah. Everything you want.
Immaculate experience.
Back down.
You're getting like excited.
I do actually.
Leave the tequila.
You don't need to keep it PG. Who are we kidding? Welcome to the podcast, everyone. We are here for another three-way today with our beautiful friend, Chelsie Diane, who is the most immaculate, unhinged poetry teacher to ever exist on this planet. And I am so obsessed with her. And I can't wait to get into this conversation. And Chels, thanks so much for being here with us today and for sharing your light and your wisdom and your magic and all of the zzz that comes through you. I'm just so obsessed. I love you.
I love you both too, and I'm so honored and excited to talk to you.
Okay, so let's start like right off the bang here. Like you just picked up your life and moved across the country a
Right.
couple days ago.
I
So,
did. I decided this a week ago.
yeah. Yeah. Okay, we
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
know. We need to know the story, the essence of this. Like, I think you're such a permission slip in liberation and like following that thread of intuition. So,
Yeah.
I'd love to start there today. So,
Well,
like,
when I was
tell us about it.
12, I had stage 4 melanoma cancer. And if you know that about me, that's probably a really good way to
Mhm.
start. That makes your wires crossed in a different way when you survive. When a doctor says, you got 3 months to live, take her to Disney World, and you survive it, it's like, and it's right, at that time when I was being wired, my brain was developing and my subconscious, like, really took a different turn at this point where I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I don't, and still to this day, I really don't think that I have tomorrow. I live my whole life like I don't, and the truth is, none of us do,
Mhm.
and it's not promised. But I know that. I know that I know that I know that. And so when people think, oh, she's unhinged, actually, I'm more sane than any of y'all because I
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
I know that I actually don't have tomorrow. And so I just don't, I, if it doesn't move like love moves, like freedom moves, like authenticity moves, like truth moves, I don't want it. And if I feel, and I don't follow rules, and I don't, and it makes people really uncomfortable. It has my whole life. But I just yeah, it's all for the poetry of living richly and loving my children, loving my animals, and loving this earth that we're on. Like, there's all this hippy dippy shit. Like, I'm not from here. I don't feel connected to this planet. And I am so the opposite. I'm like, okay, y'all might be aliens, but I freaking love it here. And I'm so excited that I got to live. To this day, I'm like,
Mm.
oh, I get to wake up today. I don't know what's happening in the world. It's going to shit or whatever's happening, but I'm alive, and I have 3 children, and I've got a farm. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just like, I have a horse I got off Craigslist. Like, what the hell? This is my life. This is my life. And so, like, my whole life, I've just been obsessed with being on this planet, and like, I just don't hide it. So
Mhm.
when I got
Mhm.
the question was about moving, when I got like, oh, you need to go home, be around your family, and reconnect to your source of like your soul. A bunch of my friends, from LA were like, you're gonna get small, you're gonna get smaller when you move to Kansas and move back home to Kansas. And I was like, no, I'm gonna get bigger because this is about soul. This isn't about LA bullshit. This is about me connecting to the dirt of my freaking soul and being true. And you know what? The thing is with women see that and they feel it, and women call bullshit with their womb. And so that's why women fucking love me, because I'm real and I'm honest and I'm true. And when I mess up, I say I mess up, and when I don't, and the thing is I'm brave, and like people love that. And even if they don't, who gives a shit? I'm being true to me. So I think that's also something that women are terrified of. But at the end of the day, if you're being true to yourself, every woman in the world can feel it resonating in their own womb. And women call bullshit immediately. Can you guys feel when somebody walks in the room? You both are witches, I can tell. When somebody walks in the room and they're full of bullshit, immediate.
Instantly.
Instantly.
Yep.
I'm like illegal. I can't. Like I just it's
allergic.
It's literally like
Yes.
I'm like absolutely not. Like it's not even like a thing against them. I'm just my body is just like it's a no, and I'm like okay, it's a no.
Totally. And like and the opposite, when you see a woman who is so true to herself above the whole world and will move across the world even though the whole world's like fuck it. Like what are you doing, you know? And a woman that says fuck it and follows her soul to the end, other women are like you. And so that's how I made a promise to my poetry students a long time ago. I never ever said that I was going to be clean or like perfect, but I made a promise to myself and to my students that I'd be true, that I would live my life true. So that's why I moved.
Could we circle back to the horse on Craigslist?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, but first of all, I'm fucking slayed at everything you just said. I feel like I just got an energetic upgrade.
Yeah.
I just went to church. I haven't been my whole life. I just went to church every day. Like I am now 41 and I've been to church every day.
Please all three attend the Church of the Craigslist Horse.
I am 1,000%. When you said I just got a horse off Craigslist, I don't know why that just fucking slayed me so hard, but I was like, this is the best thing I've ever heard all day, like all week, all month. I can just imagine going on Craigslist, like horse for sale, and you're like, that's my fucking horse, and you just go and you buy it, and you're like fucking riding the thing back. You're like, let's go, bro, and it's just like,
oh, it's even crazier than that. Are you about to? And you're about to hear why. So I always wanted a war horse because obviously, and so I wanted a war horse, and I wanted a Warlander because the thing about Warlanders is that they don't have flight, and neither do I. We just have fight. So you see something going down, like someone's bullying somebody, you just go into it, and that's probably how I'll die. Honestly, on this planet is like because I see a woman being beat or something, and I like have no weapon, and I'm 110 pounds, and I'm just like. And I'm feisty. So, and I've gotten into a lot of fights because of that. But that's my horse too, whose name, of course, is Joan of Arc.
Of course.
Who I taught from her execution site, the best class I've ever taught. But I was like, I want a horse named Joan of Arc, obviously. And this horse was being bred, and she was never let out of a stable for the 6 years of her life. No. And she was basically being raped, and by these huge Frisians, and for her babies, and used for her babies. So I saw that she was being used as a queen horse, basically as, you know, to have babies. And that she was kept in the pictures were horrible. And I was like, that's my fucking horse. And so I went and I met her, and it was funny because everyone thinks I'm so fancy in Malibu or whatever, and they're sending me these like $120,000 horses. This is your horse. This is your horse. And I was like, and I go and I meet Joan, and her eyes like are full of more depth than you've ever seen in a horse in your life. And she's pregnant, and I literally handed the guy cash, and a lot more than she was probably even worth. But I literally got her, put her in the horse trailer, and drove off with her. And it gets even cooler. So this is my soulmate horse for sure. A little bit later, she's about ready to give birth. You know, we're on baby watch. And on the Scorpio full moon, I'm 7 planets Scorpio. On the Scorpio full moon, and my daughter is 5 planets Scorpio. She was born 2 days after me. I have a feeling that she's going to give birth on the Scorpio full moon. She's about a month off from giving birth. Put my kids to bed at 10:30 at night, which I put the horse in at 8 p.m. So I've never been out past that, you know. I have a feeling that she's going to give birth. So I stand up from my couch and I walk outside to the barn. As I'm walking out to the barn, I hear a rush of fluid. and it's my horse's water breaking, just like, and it only takes it took her 6.5 minutes to have this baby. I scream for my daughter. She runs out. 6.5 minutes later, this baby was born in my arms, like on the ground, and I helped him stand.
Oh.
And his name is, of course, Oscar Wilde.
Of course.
And so it was just the most magical experience ever. Me and my daughter were just sitting there like bawling. It was really freaking like matriarchal and beautiful. And so my horse is with me now in Kansas because I had my old ranch hand driver all the way here, and so is the baby horse, and they're so happy in the wild green. But
Watching them run in the green pastures of Kansas
they're
has
so
been
happy.
the delight of my week. I'm not gonna lie.
And also just knowing the story that she was stabled for so long. Every time she runs in that green pasture and with her baby beside her, which I will never take from her, all of her previous babies were taken from her, just makes me like sob. She's amazing. She's amazing.
Oh my fucking God.
Christine, do you understand now? Do you
I
understand?
can't even, I'm just like it's very rare I'm gobsmacked, but like the thing I keep hearing is like you're like the representation of like living art. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm hearing is like your art in motion, like you're a living masterpiece. And so like when you move, like they're showing me like almost like a Monet painting, like you move from, it's like the painting just moves and it morphs and it's like, now I want to be this and then I want to be this, and it's sort of like,
do you know what I love about women? Like the fact that you just gave me that image for myself is better than any gift I've been given my whole life. And so now I'll carry that with me in my cells, and I'll like when I'm having a rough day or down, like I'll be like, oh God, that woman I met online named Christine says I am living art. I'm a Monet. God damn it. But like that's what women do. That's what we do for each other. It's magic. Like you are literally speaking, it's like the biblical Abraham speaking blessings over people. Thank you for that. That was so sweet.
yeah, yes, like that's like, yeah, like you're like teaching other women how to become like the masterpiece in their own. You know what I mean? Like it's like you are the masterpiece, and it's like and however that art shows up. Some people love abstract, some people love, like sometimes it's poetry. Like it's like you're training them to like be their own expression of art in the world. Like that's what I just keep seeing, like whether it's words or this or that or theater or whatever it is, it's just like alive. And that's everything we do in the club is like alive and juicy and rich and spicy and like hot and cold and dark, and like it's all of that. Like it's just it's so good.
Full range, baby.
Full range. Yeah, fucking far.
I'm so glad I'm here.
We're so glad you were here too. Like I've been so impacted by you, you know, ever since, I mean, I knew about you before I came into your membership, but I've been in your membership, gosh, I think at least a year now. And like, even if I can't make live class, it doesn't fucking matter because I get on a replay and the transmission impacts me just the same. And like, I feel the energy of everything that's kind of conjuring up in those sessions. And it's been such medicine for me to play with my expression in all of these unique and different ways. I literally have a whole like journal full of things that I've written just by taking your classes, and I had to start a new one the other day because I'm like, well, this one's done. And it's just been so special to be in your vortex. And I'm just so thrilled to have you here.
I need to sign up. We need to sign everyone to sign up. We gotta get we gotta get that link.
I know. We need to like do some cross
that link
pollination here.
Every woman in the club should really be in there and all things. But we're back. Okay. We had a little snafu and we are back. Okay, so Chelsea, we're 100 out of 10 obsessed. And you told us a little bit about you being 12 and having stage 4 melanoma, and we just jumped to the horse and the moving, and I was like, there is a lot of information that I'm going to need to understand and hear from you about your journey and your story. So take us back. you have
Yeah.
this diagnosis. They're like, you have 3 months
Yes.
to live. Go to Disneyland. Like, go eat a bunch of churros. You're gonna die. And you're like, I feel like I'm not. And then you just didn't. So like, can we just give us like, take us on that journey? Like, I want
Oh,
to. I'm
it's
gonna
one of my
buckle up. Like, I'm
favorite
ready
too.
for Splash Mountain. Like, I'm wearing the seatbelt. I'm buckling up. I'm ready to go on the ride. Take me to
Give it
church
to
again.
us.
Give it to me.
Awesome. Well, I grew up, it was okay. This is important to say. I am a product of a dad that is so rock and roll. So my dad was in a rock band, like leather pants, dog collar rock band. So I grew up in dive bars in the Midwest. I was like Sweet Home Alabama. I was the baby in the bar. That was me. And so that's why I'm a poet. And so like they would sit me and I mean, my dad screaming and playing electric guitar, which he taught himself because he was so poor, farm boy. Well, he learned by ear, so he doesn't know notes. I mean, he's so fun, but he's so charismatic and fun. And so I grew up in rock and roll, being the baby in the bar, to my father, who's a rock and roller, and an 18-year-old mother who was like his groupie. Okay. And so this is what I was born into. And we had this house like out in the country, on a dirt road, and in northwest corner of Missouri. And it was this like 1 bedroom house, and it had this wooden roof, and it was so rock and roll that when my dad would hear a possum or raccoon in the attic, he would shoot through the ceiling, and he knew if he hit it, if blood dripped through the hole. So this was what I was born into, and just parties, you guys, like every single night of the week, rock and rollers and parties at my house. And so that makes for a poet. But then when my parents divorced because my dad is very charismatic and not monogamous. And and so finally my mom got sick of it, and so my mom left him when I was 6. And so my dad was still highway to hell rock and roller, but my mom married his opposite, which is a military man who's just a farmer, very, like this. So I was going from, and he extremely like far right Christianity. So I was going from church 5 days a week at my mother's house at 6, and then I would go to my dad's house and he'd take me to AC/DC concerts front row and be like, pass this joint. Don't be, pass this joint. And so this was 4 years old. I'm at concerts, and then I'd have to like dress up modestly to go to my mom's house. And honestly, like people are like, "Do you hate the church?" And I don't. Like, I actually love it.
Yeah.
And I love both parts of my upbringing so much. Church gave me such faith and such community, and I learned about grace and the love of Jesus and these figures that were just full of so much love. That's how I learned in the church. And then at my dad's house, I learned about like charisma and passion and rock and roll, and just like being real, right? And so I feel like I'm very grateful. They say that your soul, picks your parents, and for sure I picked these two. And so when I went through my cancer experience, my parents are divorced, remarried, and it was like, it was definitely, my mom was bringing me to the church, getting me anointed with oil, saying, you know God is going to heal you. And so learning, like in the church, I was taught manifestation. I was taught that if you pray and people gather to pray for you, that it's powerful. And I've now learned in every single religion on earth, this is true. When people gather and believe that you're healed, it actually is true. The science of it, you can heal your body with your mind. And so I believed, and I told the oncologist sitting there, I was like, "Oh, Jesus is going to heal me. I don't know who you're talking to about dying, but I'm going to live." And I was 12 years old saying that, and I believed it, and I lived. And so that was a big part. I mean, I have walked with God since the day I was born. I have never felt like there was not a source of love and all knowing flowing through me since the day I was born. I've never felt apart from that. And but then when you go through something like that and you pray and you live, the kind of faith that activates, it makes you into a psychopath, because it makes you literally like, I know that whatever I do will succeed. If God is with me, I cannot fail. And I know that. And so when I'm up against whatever, a divorce, custody stuff, when I'm up against starting my business when I'm up against, okay, I'm going to, get this ballroom for $30,000. I have no money, and see if women will come, and I sell it out. And then I have to get fire marshals to come, and people are like, this is crazy. Why are people coming to a poetry event? Like, what are you doing? Like, I've been completely delusionally like walking by faith my whole life. But it's because like I was saved from cancer. And so I'm like, oh, if God's like gonna do that, like what else is God gonna do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Totally. A permanent, like, come at me, bro. Like, what
A
do you get?
permanent
What do you get?
comeback,
Like, I just like that one. Like,
that's your first line of your next poem, Christine. That was
Yes.
great.
Yes.
oh my God. I love
Actually,
that.
I'm gonna write that down and put
Yeah,
after
you gotta.
Christine Barlow.
You gotta.
Yes.
That's so good. Yeah, and I've always felt like um that I have these angels around me too. I really believe in that. And I believe that they're really quirky bitches, and that they like, they bring me, I said in a poem one time, they bring me garage sale art and like Buicks that won't start and beautiful men to break my heart. And that they like, that one has a limp and like one has an eye patch, and like, they're just these and one smokes a ton of cigarettes, and they're just like, okay, Chelsea. And I live my life literally feeling like I'm entertaining these angels.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, what are we gonna do today, guys? Like, what
Mm-hmm.
what do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel very supported and protected.
Mm-hmm. And I think
And it's
that's a
not
huge
just me
key.
being magic, right? It's like
Right.
I feel the power
Yeah.
of love and God in me constantly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that element of faith is such a huge piece I found for myself, right? To be able to walk a more unconventional path. Like when I left my like city that I grew up in and I was in a relationship, we were in a band, like we had a
Oh
business,
God.
and I was like, this isn't it for me. Like I love you
Uh-huh.
and you're amazing, but this isn't it for me. Like
Yeah,
my
you just know.
soul, yeah, I just knew, and my soul was being called to Vancouver. And my coach at the time was like, cool, if you're going to move there, when are you moving? I'm like, you know what? My brother's wedding is like April 22nd. So April 24th.
So good.
And like once I like set that in motion, like there was this like flooding of faith and like just knowing that it was going to work because I declared it to be so.
That. And so even moving here, like I've had so many people try to stop this and be like, what are you doing? Or this is stupid. And I have made money off a
Mm-hmm.
cross country move. Like when you are aligned, all energy, all the rules of the universe, the universe has your back. God has your back. So when you align yourself, shit starts to go down really quickly. You get on, I'm stepping on, I always call it an unstoppable train. And I did that at 12. And whoever gets in front of that train is going to be flattened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm an unstoppable train. And I would love for you to take your train right beside me, but don't get fucking in front of it.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Your
Take you
ass
out.
is gonna get smushed. You gonna be some Ravens dinner tonight with some fucking.
Another poem.
Raven's dinner tonight is so good. Okay, that's another poetry prompt. And also, Kelsey, another poetry prompt is you said my soul is moving to Vancouver. I'm like, oh shit, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. And it was honestly like the best decision of my life.
Oof.
And I also feel that stirring, that rumbling happening again. I'm like, oh, I know what this means now.
That.
Like, and like the destination isn't totally clear, but I know the direction that it's pulling me in. So I'm like, well, the next step is to just go explore that spot and
And
see
it's
what
almost
happens.
exciting, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like the crazier you get, the higher the blessing, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the more you trust your intuition to like an insane degree. So, I will like try to keep it as insane as possible because I know that that's freaking money.
Yeah.
I know that that's abundance in every way. I know it's love. I know it's passion. I know it's sex. I know it's poetry. I know it's, family and connection. It's everything good if you like really trust it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get excited. You're like, oh shit, shit's about to go down. But I'm following love. I'm going to move how love moves. Last time this happened, like you said, last time this happened, this is what happened. So I know that this time is not going to be any different. It's going to be even better and deeper. I have this theory too. I want to talk to both of you about, because I know you'll agree. Like really deep souls, right? Like
Yeah.
souls like ours that are just have like in an immense amount of depth require an immense amount of fire to refine us. And so it's like women that are really, really big, you don't need, it's, a gas stove isn't gonna refine the diamond, right? You need, I you need the freaking city to burn to the ground. And that's what it feels like, right? It feels like, oh shit, everybody's gonna feel this, everybody's gonna know. Like I'm setting this old thing on fire, but I'm a really big soul. And so it's going to affect, and it's gonna be felt
Yes.
deeply.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no like kind of just like skirting by in the background and like
No,
uh-uh. Like it is a deep like thud in my
that
system.
that
Yeah.
and
And
hard
I,
lessons. Like we have to
hard
learn
lessons.
lessons hard.
Hard lessons. Like Christine and I are no stranger to that, like getting our asses kicked
Mm-hmm.
from the universe. But even like when that happens, the frame that we have is like, this is friendly and it's for us. Like
Oh,
it's refining who I know myself to be. And I'm
yep.
getting something that I need to hold the magnitude of the vision and the bigness of what I'm here to do. Like,
100%. And what is it that I say inside myself? I'm like, okay, God, as long as you don't touch my children, like as long you can touch fucking anything, but don't touch my children. Like I don't do that. And of course, that's what God uses every single time to expand me. Because it's the one thing that I'm like, oh, but you can't do that,
don't do that.
like whatever, take whatever you want, but like you can't do that. And it's always like, oh my God, it's gonna take, and my kids are coming with me of course here, but it just is gonna take a little while, and it's a process, and it's a whole thing, and so I'm flying back and forth still, and but it's gonna work out. But it's like it's always that one thing where it's like the one thing that's completely untouchable in you, that's probably what God's gonna use to expand you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 100%.
Yeah. What I'm hearing is that we all have like massive street cred. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
we're like gangsters. Like it's like, you know what I
100%.
mean? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I think
Yeah, mobster.
Mm-hmm.
total fucking mobster. Like we're running underground fucking spiritual rings like in the best way. You know, it's just like it's fucking dirty and gritty and raw and like
Mm-hmm.
deeply human and also fucking wildly spiritual. And I
Yep.
think I think the universe doubles down on Delulu. Like it really does. Like
100%.
like the
Well,
more
the universe,
Delulu.
the universe rewards the brave.
Yes.
100%. Yeah. It's like, oh, yes, you.
And,
Because
and
when,
if you
like,
think of God like cheering, like I think of God as an old black woman always up in the sky, just like getting up and like big, like yeah, like
yeah,
just like roaring with the angels, being like yeah, and like I if only we thought of God not as like some white dude, boring dude in the sky, and
Mm-hmm.
we were like
Snooze
no.
fest.
God to me, God's a black woman. Like what's the most ancient race we have? That's what God is. And like it's just like it feels it's this celebrate this champion of the
Mm-hmm.
brave.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Hmm.
mm.
Mm-hmm.
When you were talking earlier about feeling, when you were describing your move and all the things, I just kept hearing it's like when you're in flow like that's flow. It is a fucking raging river. Like you're on the boat and you're just getting fucking, you're just like, wow. And so many people are like, get me off the boat, or they're gripping to the rocks, or they're like, why is this happening to me? And sometimes when you just get on and you grab a fucking spicy margarita and you're going down the fucking road and you're like, this is nuts. Like
Yes, and you
that,
feel alive.
you're
Mm-hmm.
fucking alive and you're like, take me, God, take me, universe, because you know that
Mhm.
wherever the fucking boat takes you,
Huh?
you're like, come at me, bro. Like I'm ready. Like let's go, because you become. I really do think a lot of people, light workers, whatever, people conscious people on
Yes.
planet who are here to change on the planet.
Yes.
We are. we're designed to go through this. Is when I see a lot of people who are like, I have big missions and big impact. I'm like, well, then prepare to get your fucking ass whooped. You gonna get shit beat in the streets. You're gonna get fucking sucker punched. It's gonna get like all sorts of, like, if you're in the arena, buckle up, because your soul came here.
Exactly.
You're not, you can't sit here and be like, well, I read this in a book one time, and so
Right.
I'm gonna tell you about it now, and it's a lot of theory. Like, it's like any great person
I
who's
am
done shit is
business
like,
coach. Right. I'm a business coach, but I've never had a business. You know
Yeah.
what about the about the flow that makes me so happy that you just said? Okay, here's an example, and this is like two things. I needed someone to watch my cats, like while I was here, and because
I already like where this is headed.
Yeah, me too.
right,
I'm
it's like
obsessed.
I needed a cat sitter, but like, and I've got this like historic Airbnb, and the cats are here, but I got to go home to California and be with my kids next week. So I'm like, who's gonna watch my kids for a week? I don't want to rent an Airbnb just for someone to come to. You know what I mean? With for my cat, like I will rent an Airbnb for my cats. Do not put it past me. But I'm like, do I need to do that? Like, what's happening? And then my ex husband's ex girlfriend, the woman he was supposed to marry before me,
Yes.
contacts me on Instagram. I shit you not. She goes, I've been taking your classes for 3 years.
No.
Stop.
And I go, and by the way, the weird thing about this is I've always like loved her and thought she was like super like sent
Yeah.
her good energy, and like the woman he like who prepared him for me type of thing, right? And she's like, is this freaking crazy? But like, I feel really connected to your cats and was wondering if I could like watch your cats. And they could stay in my home. And she's like the coolest, raddest bitch you've ever seen. And she's like, she went to vet school, you guys.
Of course she did.
No.
Of course
And
she did.
I go, I literally 10 minutes before this was saying a prayer. Like I was like, can we get on a call? Like asking God to somewhere for my cats. And she's like, yeah, she's like, let's do it. She's like, the only requirement I have is that we send a selfie to your ex-husband and my boyfriend. Like, this is the bet with the cats, of course.
Right. Naturally.
And I'm like, God has a sense of humor. Like, this is so in flow. It's insane. And then another thing for tonight, I have this party to go to, my cousin's birthday party. And she's like, I know you don't have anything right now. Like, you just came from Malibu or whatever. She's like, but will you bring a bottle of red wine? The only thing that the movers forgot to unpack out of my car, one bottle of red wine. Like, that's how crazy this is. And I pull out to go to the store to get a bottle of red wine, and it rolls out from underneath my seat of my car.
No.
Swear to God. And I was like, oh,
Right.
this is what it's like. It's down to every last detail that's being fulfilled, like when you're on the path, right? So it's almost funny.
Well, this is what people don't understand, is that the time between like the thought and the actualization becomes so much quicker and faster and like thinner, because the less resistance you have, like there's no resistance. You're not like, I can't have this thing happen. I don't want this thing. This shouldn't be this. You're just like, oh, and then like it's like this. It happens like that cause reaction is so quick, because and you hear about that, right? And that's what people don't understand is we work with a lot of women who are like, I want to manifest my dream life. And we're like, okay, cool. So they're like, so what do I need to learn? We're like, no. We're going to get you to like, basically like, we're going to take a wrecking ball and we're just going to like, we're going to tear down the house and like remove the skunks and just like, let's do this. So it's like actually less is more. And they're like, it's like, it scrambles with people, Mike, because it's just, you are it. You are abundant. You are all the things. You're fucking magic. You're walking around literally like this walking, and we just need to clear all the fucking interference.
That.
Like, how much simpler is it? Like, everyone's like, I need to learn how to be abundant. I'm like, you fucking are. It's all the energetic debris, and it's all the unprocessed shit, and it's all of that that's just in the way, right? Like, so like,
Totally. That's our birthright.
yes,
Yeah.
we are.
Abundance is our
It's just
birthright.
like, let's clear all the stuff that isn't.
Totally.
And I got my ass handed to me. I share this because I did the cute like beginning of the year a few years ago of like, my word of the year is magnetic. And I was like, I can't wait to see what, God brings me. And then it was like dumpster fire, business, like a flood in the business, divorce. Like it was like thing after thing. And I was like, I remember one day driving and I was like, fuck you, universe, like, where's my magnetism? I'm not magnetic. My life's a dumpster fire. And all I heard was this voice. And it was like, Christine, you don't become magnetic because it sounds cute or it's Instagram worthy or whatever. It's like you become magnetic through the release of everything in you that isn't. And I just was like, I just had like this, like, I was like, oh.
Well, and if you think of the science of it, when you have a 4 foot pile of shit on top of a magnet, does the magnet work?
Exactly. No.
Right. So you just like burnt all that shit off there. And my mom is so funny, but she always talks about, she says poop because she's a Christian, but she'll be like, now, Chelsie Diane, why, you know what you're doing? You know what you're doing? And she would tell me this growing up. She'd be like, you're walking around with a backpack and you're like, oh, here's some poop. Let me put it in my backpack. Here's some poop. Let me put it in you're walking around with a backpack full of poop. Take it off. And it's so funny. I'm like, yeah. So I think of that image all the time. I'm like, why am I walking around with a backpack full of poop? Like, why am I collecting poop? And then she's like, and you wonder why you stink. And I'm like, oh shit.
Why are the Lord of the Flies around me right now? Like, what is happening? Why am I attracting dirt bags and homeless people? Oh, maybe because I'm literally carrying around a bag of shit. Like, okay, well, I'm an energetic match for pure shit, so let me just like...
Right! Like, I love the analogies of Hicks. Like, we got it down. We're your storytellers. We'll talk about, but most analogies go back to piles of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carrying things you shouldn't be carrying.
That's right.
Yeah, we got to put it down. We got to burn it to the ground sometimes. And we were talking about this in an event on the weekend of like, before the reconstruction of the life that you're here to live, you have to bring in the demolition crew.
Totally.
Like you can't build on top of a shady foundation or a wobbly foundation or a foundation that's full of fucking cockroaches.
Also, guess who finds the cracks in your foundation? Haters. And you should say, thank you. God bless you. Because haters will come along and they will find, that's what I use them for. I'm like, everything is useful to me because I'm a fucking brilliant businesswoman. Do you know how I got rich? I listened to my fucking haters. I was like, oh, they found a crack in the foundation. Let's patch they say this about the website. Okay, well, I can patch it up and make my website better. Like they're still eyes. Listen, use it. It's yummy. Right?
I am obsessed with that because again, it's just like if it triggers or if there's that like ooh, rather than being like, oh my god, it's confirmation I'm a worthless piece of shit and I should really just never say anything again. Versus like, oh my god, I'm obsessed. Thank you. You're like my fucking employees. I don't even have to pay. And you make you came in, you make me so much better.
It's you get irritated when the inspector comes and tells you have a crack in your foundation, but your house is still standing because you got it fixed. And I feel like I feel like just you looking at every single person as a teacher has made my business that everyone's a bad fucking, most people are terrible at business because they don't see haters as helpers. And like, if you just are like, if you can move with it, that's a real king. Nobody wants to like, listen to a teacher or a king or like someone that has like real power, right? Daddy energy is like the king is going to, he's able to like laugh with, when they're in the mead hall and the general and all the soldiers are making fun of him, he's able to laugh at himself. He's able to make fun of himself too. He's able to roll with the punches and be so secure that they're just like, oh, like someone, like when haters say stuff, I always put ha ha ha. And they're always like, oh. I'm just like, ha. And I think of myself as a king in the mead hall. And I'm like, what would the king in the mead hall fucking say? Be like, haha, I'm not threatened.
Oh my god, I'm so obsessed.
Oh my god.
This is literally like me in the comment section of my Instagram. It was like just replying with GIFs and emojis and
yeah. You know what? You just hashtag obsessed. Obsessed. 12 out of 10. I love what you just said. And then just leave it. And they're like, well, what do you mean? And you're like, I love it. I love that for you.
Yes.
I love that for you. That's amazing.
Good job.
Just like Totally. The like this emoji, you know, or just like the
Or like
pumpkin
standing ovation.
or the broccoli. Like just put a broccoli emoji. They don't know how to. What do you do with that?
And that's true. That's true. It's true bigness to be able to laugh at yourself and to be able to laugh at the world and be like, haha, you know, like, fun, that's funny. Or sending love, whatever.
Blessings. Hashtag blessings. What would you say?
Yeah.
Okay, what are like the top 3 things?
Okay.
I don't know where. Okay, that you have learned from running an online business. This is such a weird question. I don't know why it's coming through, but I feel like your answer is going to be very interesting.
Ooh, I love this. Okay. From running an online business, number one is the energy that I put into it, I get probably 100-fold back. And so I proclaim that, and that's been the truth for me. If I don't pay attention to something or don't tend it, it dies. And a lot of women are like, why aren't I making money? I'm like, I didn't even know you had anything going on. Like, I put my heart and soul into my business. That's why I get it back. So number two, I would say, if you want to be, you know, CEO, like have like what I've built in a few years of like having women in every country in the world take my classes. I've scaled it to crazy percentage. But the reason is because I I genuinely reach points of expansion. Like what can my energy hold? What's my capacity energetically? And sometimes I tap out for a while and I'm like, I can't hold any more numbers. And so my numbers stay. And then I'm like, and every single time I go through a death or the burning or like intensity, I grow again. And it's like you said, it's like peeling off the shit, or like I think of it as an onion, like layers, and it's just like it's peeling off these layers. And the more authentic I get, the bigger my business is and grows. And the third thing I would say is I come from a dirt road in Missouri, and most people don't know how to work like I work. And people think I'm traveling the world and not working. And I work my ass off and I love it. But I work. And I had this friend that she was like, I'm not making any money and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you took a 6-hour beach walk today. Do you know I haven't exercised. I haven't honestly, like I don't know. I mean I get that I'm a small town woman, you know, like from Missouri, that I was grew up building fence and waking up at dark early, breaking ice on the cattle tank. And I have work in my bones and it makes me feel good about myself. But like if I haven't exercised, like I am a mother of 3 children and run a massive business. I don't go to the gym. And people have problems with this. I don't sleep very much because I've chosen to pour my energy into my business, and I love it. Right? Yeah. This is what I love, and this is what I feel like I love, or feel like I'm supposed to do. I know that it's my purpose. However, there I have made sacrifices, and I've held it above every relationship I've had with every man. I've said, I watch women all the time, like take off work and go on some lover's vacation, right? I've never done that. I've never said, oh, I'm going to take off work for a week and go do this. People are like, how did you grow this in 5 years? I worked my ass off. I worked, I studied, I read about 40 books on every woman I teach. I study, I'm so intense. I went to medical school at 18. And so that started me like with this intensity of the way I study. I did 4 years medical school here in Kansas City at the University of Missouri. And it's like what you do when you're studying in medical school is you eat coffee beans like to stay awake while you're studying. And you know, all this health wellness culture is like, no, it should be free flow, it should be easy. No, the energy you put into something, you get out of it. And if they're not raising that above everything, and my calling to speak and to do what I do with women and poetry and love is the highest thing for me. And so if you don't put it first, it's not gonna show up as Number one. And money's a lover. And if you just let it go freely, and it'll come. I mean, I have so many. This is probably the fourth one, but I'm going to say this. You can't hold on to it. You got to pour it into your business. You have to pour it into, you can't just like be like stingy and weaselly with it. You have to be really free with your money to get it to come back, because that's how a lover would like to be treated, right? And so I've also been really abundant with my business. I've went all over the world, spent that, millions on hotels, on flights, on being paying off who I need to pay off so class is quiet in the jungle. You know what I mean? Like I make sure that it's done, and it's done at a very high level. And it takes a lot of work. That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people are not willing to do the work that I've done to create the business I've created. And so I want to, and that's okay, but that's their choice.
Right. Yeah. I'm so obsessed with you. Like, I was already obsessed with you coming into today, but now, like, even more so, like, just having this conversation, and like, this is so soulfully aligned, because that is exactly how I show up to what we're building, and even like what we built individually before we even came together. Like, we both have this devotion, and like, I'm not willing to like give it up. I'm not willing to like, take a passive role in the
Nope.
creation of that. Like,
Nope.
I'm working hard every single day. And like, it doesn't mean I don't take time off. Like, I can have
Yeah.
the occasional day or two, or if like my energy is like, girl, you need to fucking rest, then I rest.
Yeah.
But there's always a through line. Like, every single day, there's something that I'm doing to move the needle forward of the business, if not 100 things. And
I think that is really beautiful. And I feel that in you. And I also feel you guys is dynamic. It's really great together. Like, it's really beautiful.
Oh,
thank you.
It's so fun.
It's great.
We're individually like spicy, but like we can be very soulful and like very psychic, and then we come together and it's like fucking somebody taking electricity, like
Carnage.
a fucking
It is.
electricity prod, and it just like
No, I
opens up
feel
this
it.
fucking vortex, and we're just like we're off the rails, the analogies, like it's just we turn into something else. We have one of our segments is called Tequila Talks. So we just
Cool.
like drink tequila and fucking
I'm
riff.
Shoot
obsessed.
the
Why
And
shit.
wasn't
Yeah.
I invited to that one?
No, we're
okay,
gonna have to do a live one with you
we'll
I
do a
would
doing
live
love
one.
tequila
it.
talks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I
we'll
am
do a live tequila talks.
100% in.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you drink a tequila and you're just crushing margaritas and having a conversation, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. Or like, let's do call-in coaching. You know what I mean? Like, it's just how fun is that? Like, it's just we need to spark that
It's
alive. And I think this is a big thing in the industry right now, where there's a lot of this really lean back energy of like, I will just align and stare at the vision board, and everything shall come to me. And I'm like, oh, oh no, like
no,
you have to be out. You cannot be a passive princess sitting there being like, it
that,
shall come. You need
that,
to be out there. You need to be gritty. You need to be like, and it's not about turbo hustling to the point of burnout. I've done that, but it is around like being an active participant. You, God, you in the universe, whatever
yeah,
like, it's like you guys, it's the co-creation. It's like, I'm going to make a move. You make a move. I'm gonna make a move. You make a move. And it's
that,
just like, it's a fun game. It's like, let's play together versus like, we're sitting there being like, I didn't have the launch I wanted. I'm like, I didn't even know you had anything going on, or there was like
that.
nothing even happening.
And Moses, it's like even like biblical stories, like the sea didn't part until he put his foot in, until he made the first step. And I always think about that. I'm like, I'm putting my foot in, and I'm gonna watch the sea part. But also, I want to say on the other side too, like, you don't we just hear there's so much like rest and flow and feminine energy bullshit, right? One of my daddy class is one of my favorite classes I've ever taken, because we all have a daddy in us. And I wore a suit and tie, and it was so fun. So I taught, and but the thing is like, is what I actually that pisses a lot of people off is I actually don't take time off. I don't. I don't rest, really. I'm just being honest.
Sure.
But I like, people get pissed off when I say that, because other people need different things. But like, and I someday maybe I will, but for the past, I don't know. Let's see. I was in medical school, and then I did this. So since I was 18 years old, I really have not taken a single day off. But I am so fulfilled by my work. So I say pick something where your calling feels like aliveness to you, feels like rest. When I'm working and doing stuff in my calling, so at the same time, every single day, all day, I know I never feel tired. I really don't. Like hardly literally ever. I feel so rested even when I've got 4 hours of sleep because I'm so alive in my passion. And I know every human's different, right?
Sure.
But I want to give voice to me personally. And this is my thing, because this is a part that's not talked about. And people hate it. And I don't give a shit. Like I want people to realize, like, I got here because I didn't take a day off. I did what I did, you know? And that's not to say that I don't like have a dinner with a friend, but I was working at some point of that day, right? And that feels really in flow for me. And I work after my kids go to bed until they go to sleep. And someday they'll probably be like, my mom worked a lot. I know they will. And I hope that inspires my girls to have the freedom to be passionate about what they love, you know?
Yeah. I
I
also
feel
just,
you.
oh, sorry, I was gonna say, I just think that as well, sometimes people get very tired, or there's this like, they'll get angry at that. They're tired because who they have to be in their business is very
Yes.
different from who they are in their life. And so
Yes.
because of that split, there is an
Yes.
exhaustion that happens because there's performance involved. It's like I have
Yeah.
to perform, but if your life
100%.
if the life you live is your art, which it is for
That.
us as well. Like I'm obsessed. I can't go out a day without like learning something about the nervous system or manifestate, like how everything
Yes.
intersects and all. Like I'm obsessed with it. Like there will never be a
Yes.
day I don't do it, but it feels like home, like excitement, like I have more
Yes.
energy. So
Yes.
it's like you know what I mean? It's like when you don't have to split yourself from who you are online to who you are in your life. There's a freedom and flexibility to just show up raw, to do the thing and to just say the thing, because you don't have to keep exhausting yourself through like, okay, I'm back in line on my business hat. It's just like your business is your life.
That.
Like
That.
you're one.
100%. You said that so well. I agree.
Yeah. So basically, if you're feeling that like exhaustion, is just looking at like the alignment of like what you're doing, I think, and is there a way to make it more fun, more exciting, where you're in more flow with who you truly
That.
are, so that you can make more money, and then making more money isn't attached to responsibility. That's another thing. People are like, I have a money block, and I'm like, what if you just have trained yourself to be responsible for everybody and everything, and so taking on more clients, aka more money, equals more exhaustion. And so I think there's a lot of that as well,
Totally.
right? There's a lot of these funky things where, that people get stuck on. But oh my gosh, so freaking good. Okay, let's ask you just one more thing if you're okay with that. I'd love to ask you
Peace.
if you could share a message. I just
Mm.
know so many of our listeners are going to be obsessed and are going to follow you. And I just know there's going to be so many things that come from this conversation. I could already feel like it'd be so fun to do like an unhinged in person event. Like there's so many things I think we could, I'm so activated right now. But what is, if you could leave our audience with one message, into like just something you want to leave our audience with to like blanket your magic on them,
Mm.
what would you share?
Move like love moves, not like fear moves.
Oh, it's so sexy.
So sexy.
It's like sexy and like smooth and like relaxed and confident and
Mm.
masculine and feminine, and it's just like woo.
Oh, that that's it for me. How to just asking myself every time, like, and every great woman that I teach and every poetry class I teach, it goes back to that. It's like, how did she move? How can we study how she moved like love moved instead of fear moved? And yeah, that's what I long to do for the rest of my life.
Well, you're doing a great fucking job embodying it right now. Let me tell you.
17,000 out of 10. Usually I'm like
Yeah.
10 out of 10,
Yeah.
12 out of 10. This is like a
Yeah.
17,000 out of 10.
So
This is like a.
obsessed. So obsessed. And you know what? It's so interesting, Chelsea, because this last relational dynamic I was in, like, I'm very similar to you. I'm like, let me move how love moves me. And like, my whole orientation is love and expansion and creation and evolution. And he was moving how fear moved him.
Wow.
And like, so there was this like clash of energy that kept happening. And eventually it just got to a point where like, okay, you've made your devotion, you've made your
Of
choice.
course. Oof.
And I can't travel that path with you because I'm moving how love moves me.
I'm so fucking proud of you.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. That
Thank
is
you.
not proud is the wrong word. I'm just honored to know you. That's beautiful. And it was really brave.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
life, man. It's
It's
so
just,
juicy. It's so
ugh,
juicy.
so
Oh, Chelsea.
juicy.
Okay, so we know you have an event coming up in August.
Oh
Can you
yes.
tell everybody about that? Because
Oh
obviously they're going to want to come.
yes. All of you women are invited. I would love it, love it, love it if you came. So every year we have a live poetry event. This one's in New York City at the United Palace Theater where the Tonys is held. It's the most beautiful theater I've ever seen in my life, like just gilded. And I'm having like opera singers and dancers and surprises. And then we're doing a poetry workshop of manifesting our life into existence.
Whew.
And we're going to be writing our life into existence with hundreds of women there.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And then at the end of it, we're going to have a ball. And
Fuck
so
yeah,
we're
you
having a
are.
grand ball in the most beautiful ballroom ever.
I can't
So
fucking handle you right
sassy.
now. Please tell me the date. I have a terrible feeling I'm in Europe. Can you tell me the date? Because I'm like, how do I get there?
August 16th.
Damn it!
You are.
Fuck! I'm in Greece, but you know what? I'm like,
Oh, I
I
love
am
Greece.
going to be
At the next one,
like
we gotta.
the next,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I will make it. I'm already, my whole system's like, and like, can I
Yes.
travel from Greece to New
Yeah.
York for a night? Like, how do I
How do
make
we
that
do
happen?
this?
But
How do we do this?
yes, but like, wow, what a fucking event.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
so excited. Last year was our first big in-person event, and it was the best day of my life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, like didn't even compare. Like my children being born, like that shit hurts. Like this was the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. Like we
Mm.
had, it's a blast, and it's just me being absolutely insane in a top hat, like teaching poetry. So I love it.
This is my favorite. It's my favorite. Okay, so we'll make sure to grab the link from you so we can put it in the show notes because
Thank
obviously
you.
everyone's going to be so obsessed with you like we are. And thank you, thank you, thank you for spending time with us today. And I can't wait to create more with you. Like, like, Christine and I were talking before, like, we need to collaborate with this woman. She's so fun. And, like, let's do a tequila talks and, like, let's hang out and, like, let's do all the things because this is the vibe. And when women like this
Uh,
come together, like it literally casts this massive, like atomic bomb like energy and frequency into the world. And like we need that shake up. And I'm just so honored to be on Team Love with you. And thank you.
oh,
Thank you for being here.
thank you so much for having me. This was more fun than I've had in ages. Thank you.
We love you so much, and we'll put all the links to where you can find Chelsea in the show notes so you can go and play with her and be more in her orbit, in her world.
Come
And
say hi.
yeah, come say hi. And we will be back next week with another episode. And we love you all. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to y'all soon. Bye, friends.
Bye.
All in all, we want to say thank you for being here. We love and appreciate you so much. And if you liked today, give us a 5-star rating. And we'll see you next week.
And share it. If you know somebody who needs this in their life, share this shit. Abundance goes round and round. We love you.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.